He was already reaching for his phone to call security when he saw her pull something from the trash and shove it into her mouth. Not gently, not carefully, desperately. The bag dropped from his hand. His son tugged at his sleeve. "Dad, why is that lady eating from the garbage?" The woman froze. Slowly, like an animal caught in headlights, she turned around. Their eyes met. And in that moment, something in him cracked, because the look on her face wasn't guilt. It was shame and fear, and the quiet kind of hunger that didn't just live in the stomach. He almost walked away. Almost. That decision, whether to turn back or not, would change all of their lives. And he didn't know it yet, but it would force him to confront the one thing money had never been able to fix. The woman wiped her mouth quickly with the sleeve of her torn gray hoodie, eyes darting around the alley behind the upscale grocery store. Her hair was dark, tangled, pulled into a messy knot that looked like it hadn't been brushed in days, weeks maybe. She clutched the trash bag like it might be taken from her. "I'm sorry," she said quickly, her voice hoarse. "I wasn't stealing. I waited until it was outside. I swear." He hadn't accused her of anything, but she was already defending herself. His son pressed closer to his side. "It's okay," he said, though he wasn't sure who he was trying to convince, her or himself. "You don't need to explain." She didn't relax, not even a little. People like him, people in tailored coats, expensive watches, clean shoes, didn't stop to talk to people like her. They either ignored them or judged them, or worse, pretended they didn't exist. She took a step back, preparing to run, and that was when he noticed her hands. They were shaking, not from cold, from exhaustion. "Wait," he said. "Please, I'm not here to cause trouble." She hesitated. The alley was quiet, too quiet. The city noise felt far away. "My name's Daniel," he added, unsure why he felt the need to introduce himself. "This is my son, Noah." Noah gave a small, awkward wave. The woman looked at the boy, really looked at him, and something softened in her eyes. I'm Claire," she said after a beat. Then, almost instinctively, she straightened her hoodie, as if suddenly aware of how she looked. Daniel glanced at the half-eaten sandwich in her hand, then at the trash bags around her. "How long have you been out here?" he asked. Her jaw tightened. "Long enough." That answer carried weight, history, pain he hadn't earned the right to hear yet. And still, he felt it. Noah whispered, "Dad, why is that lady eating from the garbage?" The woman froze, not offended, just tired. Daniel crouched down to Noah's level. "It's okay, buddy," he said, though he wasn't sure who he was trying to convince, her or himself. "She's just hungry." Noah frowned. Why? That was the question, wasn't it? Daniel stood back up and made a decision before he could overthink it. "Would you like some food?" he asked. "Real food, inside." Claire laughed once, a short, broken sound. "I don't belong inside places like that." "You belong wherever you're treated like a human being," he said quietly. She stared at him, searching for the trick, the catch. There wasn't one. Finally, she nodded, just once. "Okay," she said, "but just food, nothing else." She didn't know that nothing else was already impossible. Inside the grocery store cafe, people stared. They tried not to, but they did. Claire kept her head down. Daniel noticed how she positioned herself slightly behind him, as if trying to disappear. He ordered too much, on purpose. When the food arrived, Claire hesitated again. "You can eat," he said gently. "No one's going to take it away." Her hands shook as she picked up the fork. The first bite made her close her eyes. Noah watched quietly. After a moment, he pushed his cookie across the table toward her. "For later," he said. Claire's eyes filled instantly. She turned her face away, embarrassed. "Thank you," she whispered. Daniel pretended not to notice the tears, but he felt them anyway. Something about this moment felt heavy, like it wasn't supposed to be just another random encounter, like it was asking something of him, and that terrified him more than any business risk ever had. Daniel hadn't always been this way, cautious, guarded, emotionally distant. There was a time, years ago, when he believed helping people was simple, before life taught him how messy it really was, before loss carved a permanent hollow in his chest. He hadn't planned on becoming a single father, or a millionaire, or both at the same time. He especially hadn't planned on raising a 6-year-old while running a company that demanded everything from him. And yet, here he was, watching a homeless woman eat like she wasn't sure the food would still be there in the next minute. Something in him twisted. "Where do you sleep?" he asked softly. Claire froze. "I told you," she said carefully. "Just food." "I know. I'm sorry. You don't have to answer." Silence stretched. Then she sighed. "My car, when it runs. When it doesn't, wherever I can." Daniel nodded. He didn't ask about family, or what happened, or why. Not yet. Noah leaned against his arm. "Dad, she shouldn't be outside tonight. It's cold." Claire smiled sadly. "Your son's kind." Daniel swallowed. "Stay the night," he said suddenly. Claire looked up sharply. "No, not like that," he said quickly. "I have a guest house, separate. You'd have your own space, no expectations." She shook her head. Men don't offer things for nothing. Daniel felt that one land hard. "I'm not most men." She studied his face. Neither was the last one who said that. That was the moment everything shifted, because Daniel realized this wasn't about generosity. This was about trust. And trust had already been broken long before he ever entered the alley. That night, Claire sat alone in the small guest house bathroom, staring at herself in the mirror. Clean, showered, wrapped in borrowed clothes that didn't smell of fear or sweat or garbage. She didn't recognize herself. She expected the knock, the moment where the kindness ended and the debt came due. It didn't come. Hours passed. She slept in the bed fully dressed, shoes by the door, heart pounding, but nothing happened. For the first time in a long time, she slept, really slept. And in the main house, Daniel lay awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering why helping one stranger felt heavier than signing million-dollar deals, and why his son's quiet smile earlier felt like a blessing and a warning. The next morning, Claire tried to leave early. Daniel caught her at the door. "I'm not staying," she said quickly. "I said one night." "I know, but at least eat first." She hesitated, then nodded. At the breakfast table, Noah chatted easily with her, telling her about his school, his favorite dinosaur, how his mom used to make pancakes on Sundays. The room went quiet. Daniel held his breath. Claire didn't push. She didn't ask questions. She just listened. After breakfast, Daniel did something that surprised both of them. "Would you like a job?" he asked. Claire laughed bitterly. "Doing what? Smiling for charity?" "No. Office work. Temporary. I need help organizing files." She stared at him. "You don't know me." "I know enough, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work." Her defenses rose instantly. "This is pity," she snapped. "No," he said firmly. "It's an opportunity. You can say no." She stood up, shaking. "I won't be someone's project." Daniel met her gaze. "Neither would I." That stopped her. Long seconds passed. Then, quietly, "Okay," she said. 1 week. She didn't know that week would change everything. Claire was good, better than good, organized, sharp, quietly efficient. Too good for someone who'd supposedly fallen apart. Daniel noticed. He didn't comment, but questions began to form. One afternoon, while filing, Claire froze at a framed photo on his desk. A woman, smiling, familiar. "She looks kind," she said softly. Daniel nodded. She was. "What happened?" He hesitated. Then, for the first time in years, he told the truth. "She died." Claire didn't offer platitudes. She didn't say she was sorry. She just said, "That kind of loss doesn't leave." He looked at her sharply. She met his gaze. "I know." That was the moment he understood. She wasn't just homeless. She was grieving. Something bigger than money, bigger than pride. And slowly, Carefully, they began to share pieces of themselves. Not everything, just enough. Weeks passed. Claire moved out of the guest house into her own small apartment, paid for with her own paycheck. She insisted. Daniel respected it. Noah grew attached. So did Claire. One evening, she stayed late, helping Noah with homework. Daniel watched from the doorway. And for the first time since his wife's death, the house didn't feel hollow. That realization scared him more than he wanted to admit. Then the truth came out. Not from Claire, from a background check he hadn't meant to read. A lawsuit, years ago, against a powerful corporation. Wrongful termination, harassment, retaliation. Claire had won, and lost everything anyway. Daniel confronted her gently.